Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever time of the day you're viewing this. Welcome to today's episode of R.A.H Podcast. I am your host, Rahsaan Corbin II. Today's guest is Dillan Finley. Dillan Finley, say what's up to the people.
What's up, you guys? Thank you for having me. I
No, so I
mean,
met Dylan.
oh,
Wait,
you go, you
wait.
go, you go. You
No, I'm
go,
gonna
you
say
go,
it.
you go, you go, you go, you go, you go.
No, I was just gonna say I met Dylan at a NESB Regional Leadership Conference a few years back, and we still friends to this day. Both graduated. It was last school year actually. We met. Still friends. Now I'm happy he's on the podcast. He's out in Seattle right now. Yeah,
Yes, sir. The City. Is that what we call it? Emerald City?
yeah, the Emerald City.
Emerald City, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I ain't from
yeah.
here, so like I'm from Bama. So yeah. You guys can keep it.
Got you, got you. Well, before we get into this interview, we're gonna do a little icebreaker. It's gonna be a simple one, and it's gonna be around music. So let's say you're going to a music festival, but
Okay.
you get to choose the five artists you want to see at the specific festival. Like, who are you choosing? It can be a mixture of artists and a group or a duo, however you want to classify it.
Can it be like dead? Like I
Yeah,
know
yeah, dead or
okay,
alive.
bet. All right, number one for sure. Uh um you probably heard of this rapper named Amine. He made
Yeah,
Caroline from
yeah.
Portland, Oregon. Uh, Nirvana. I really would love to see a Nirvana concert right now. Tyler the Creator, he's Tyler the Creator. What he is, you guys expect? And I would say Kendrick for sure. And my last artist, you said five, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Baby Keem, Baby
Baby
Keem,
Keem.
Baby Keem. Like Baby Keem is like my new favorite artist. I love him.
Nice. Yeah, I seen Kendrick in concert back in 2018. That was my first concert. It was a good intro. It was a good intro to
Okay.
how live music is for a hip hop concert. But yeah, I think I would be Kendrick. It'd be Kendrick, Cole, Wu Tang Clan.
Jermaine?
Yeah, Jermaine, Cole.
Cole?
Yeah,
Jermaine.
yeah,
Cole.
yeah. So K Dot, Cole, Wu Tang
Uh,
Clan, Nas. I seen in concert. It was really good seeing him live. And then I'm gonna have to go with dang, who else? I'm gonna have to go with no, I'm gonna just go with this. Lil Baby. Lil Baby, I always
Lil
enjoyed his
baby.
concert. I seen him in concert
Lil
twice.
baby.
I seen him in
Yeah,
concert twice.
I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. I respect that. Nah, those are some nice concerts. Now I would definitely like would I mean if we did like a top 10, Wu Tang Clan would have definitely been my sixth concert I would have gone to and everything. So yeah, pretty
Yeah.
nice, pretty nice.
Yeah, I would have loved to see them in their prime. You know, or artists are a little older now from like the 90s, so they're not bouncing around the stage like they used to. They're kind of more stagnant. So I saw a few of them in concert a few months ago, or not a few months ago, back in June. And they weren't
Okay.
like bouncing off the stage, getting the crowd going. They were more like staying in one place, going back, like two stepping or whatnot. But yeah,
You
it was
started.
it was still cool though. It was still cool to getting to see them in
Nah,
person.
once
But
you get older, man, like them bones, like them joints and bones, like no more. Nah, I kind of feel it a little bit. My pops always telling me like he used to move so great when he was like in high school, college, and post grad, and now he's like a 50-year-old man. Like sometimes everything hurts.
oh
Like it's so funny because my dad, just a little side story. My
yeah, go
dad,
ahead.
he cuts the grass. My dad, for some odd reason, he loves cutting grass. When it comes to like, I don't know. I feel like this is like his hobby. Like when he's just bored and everything, he just cuts the grass. And then every time he cuts the grass, like after he cuts the grass, he always said like, "Damn, my knee hurts." I said, "Yo, Dad, I can cut the grass for you." He's like, "No." Like my dad refused to let me and my brother cut the grass because it was just
It
like
was just his
it's just
thing.
like we do not cut it right. And he like wants it like at a certain point. I was just like, dude, I don't even want to do this no more, man. It was like crazy.
Got you. Got you. Well, once again, thank you for taking the time out between those podcasts. Nice little side story shows the humanity in us, especially being engineers.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stereotype that we're closed in, but let's get you
I
know it
guess.
too.
I
The
guess.
stereotype for engineers and computer science people.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're gonna get a little background about yourself before we dive into these two topics I have, which are working at Boeing, and then postgraduate life, how it's treating you.
I got
So,
you.
can you tell us where you from? Where'd you go to school? What'd you study?
I bet. So, my name is Dillan Finley. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, and then I moved to Birmingham, Alabama when I was like about 3 or 4 years old. And then I went to Alabama A&M Agricultural and Mechanical University.
You said the full name.
I would definitely say we're the real A&M when it comes to HBCUs. I mean, that's just we're better than FAMU and also Southern. I don't
Southern
want to be
A&M.
shade.
No, that's okay. It's
Best
okay.
A&M, by the
It's
way.
all love at the end of the day. It's all
It's
love
all
at the end of
love.
the day.
I
You know
mean,
what
you're still the
I mean?
best. I just want to let you know. But I majored in mechanical engineering and stuff like that. And yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. And I already said where you're working, but can you tell us about your role at Boeing?
Yeah, so at Boeing, I work as the electrical design engineer for the 737X aircraft. I work on specifically for the wire harnesses and stuff. So I do a lot of like CATIA modeling and also like trying to solve problems out in the factory when when the mechanics have issues like during the planes when it comes to wire harnesses. So yeah, I'm more of like electrical design engineer and also a problem solver, which I kind of do like.
Nice. Nice. Taking a step back, your time at Alabama A&M, was that your first choice?
Uh, to be honest, no. That
Mm,
was definitely not my first choice. I wanted to go to like at first during like when I was in high school and stuff like that. I never really wanted to attend an HBCU.
mm,
It was not because I don't know, for some odd reason, I just had this like weird reason why I didn't want to attend. But both my parents actually, well, I don't want to like give you a little bit of backstory. My dad, he went to Alabama A&M. My mom, she went to Alabama A&M. My stepmother, she went to Alabama A&M. And honestly, they ended up having like really successful careers and everything. I guess A&M gave me the most money in scholarship and stuff, and I just told myself like, hey, might as well just try it out, and
mm.
end up really being the best decision I made in my life.
Nice. Nice. And then what about your major? What was the
Electrical
deciding
engineering.
factor?
So it's kind of weird how I got into engineering. So when I was a kid, I used to play on my grandmother's computer, like they're like one of them old real desktops and everything. When I was
Mm,
like super little, just was just on there, like maybe like 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours a day. And I wasn't really doing anything. I was just exploring, like just exploring the internet. And also, I was just a really curious kid. I always asked questions like, how do things work? What basically what's the like different components that like make this thing work and everything? And also, I guess this might sound weird, but also art. Art kind of like got me a little bit into engineering. So like a combination of those three things. And then my dad, he was also an electrical engineer too. He worked for a power company, but at the time and everything. And he kind of like when I told him like, hey, I'm interested in engineering, he kind of got me into this program called Future Engineers of America and everything, where his company had like a bunch of black kids. It was kind of like a Nesby Junior, but not really a Nesby Junior.
mm.
And I just got met like a lot of like kids that looked like me and everything to that was also interested in engineering. Specifically, why I chose electrical engineering. Originally, I wanted to do computer science because I was kind of into programming when I was in ninth grade. I took a lot. I was like interested in like how programming is like you can just program a machine and can do whatever you want and everything. Like ninth, 10th, I just said computer science, computer science, computer science. Then 11th and 12th grade, to be honest, I took a AP computer science, and I guess like I didn't really like the coding. I guess I didn't really like as much coding. I was like more of a hands-on person
Hmm.
and like with the electrical components and stuff like that and like programming the hardware of everything. So I just said, okay, maybe electrical engineering might be the best way for me. And honestly, that was like kind of the best decision I made it also too, because it gave me the opportunity to learn like the programming side and also the electronic side of it, like what's
Hmm.
inside the things, what like embedded systems too. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
You sound like me why I chose my major because I like programming, but I needed more hands-on work. So computer engineering was
Exactly.
the best for me because I wasn't sure where I wanted to be in the long run, and I ended up choosing the software route. So we're here now, so I'm not
Me,
complaining.
yeah, me choosing the electrical design route, which honestly is pretty nice. I guess I always wanted to work in aerospace because I kind of had like an aerospace engineering phase a little bit,
Mm,
where like I just like was just into aerospace like that. But A&M didn't offer aerospace, so I just chose like I guess chose electrical a little bit. So yeah.
dope. And then what was your on-campus involvement at Alabama A&M?
Ooh, oh, that's a big one.
Go ahead.
You want to start from the beginning, or you want to like?
You can speak in chronological order, whichever ones you liked first,
Okay,
however.
all right. So when I got to A&M, unfortunately, it was COVID. So I graduated in 2020, and really, my first involvement was Alabama A&M's honors program
Mhm.
and everything. It was like just pretty much a program where like all the kids that like are honors and everything, like do volunteering, get like scholarship money, can like go at like basically just gives like a bunch of opportunities and also gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people that I met in college too. Like I met like so many people from the honors program and made so many connections through the honors program because I would definitely say we had like this lady that her name was Miss Holloway, Carl Holloway, and everything. And she always say like, if you're in honors, you're the best of the best of that best. So that like that motto kind of like stick with me a little bit. I was like, okay, so like I'm in the honors college. I'm in the honors program. I gotta like proceed the way like I'm the best of the best of that best.
Mhm.
So that was like kind of the first involvement I had. My second involvement was African American Cultural Association. I was a member there. So it was kind of funny how I got into the organization. So there was this girl, her name was Crystal. And stuff. I always see her at the on the on campus bus, like when I'm walking to class and everything. Like when I after my class, I take the bus and just go back to my dorm because I was too lazy to walk up a hill. So I see her every time and I just like talk to her, just had like little conversations and stuff like that. And she just told me about this club and I just said, okay, cool. Like I'll join. And it was the African American Cultural Association. It was more of like kind of I really joined because I guess like I wanted to make more friends outside the honors program and
Mhm.
everything. And yeah, I did. I met like this one dude. His name is Muhammad. Muhammad. He's super nice. He's super cool. Like my friend to this day. I guess like I made like a couple of friends that kind of like last until like my senior year. So those were kind of like the two organizations that I kind of like was involved in my freshman year. And then we can get to like sophomore year. So sophomore year, I decided that I wanted to join Nesby. So I knew what Nesby was in high school. I knew it was National Society of Black Engineers and everything. And I've always like wanted to join it because I heard it was like a really good organization for networking, scholarships, and definitely like if you want to get like a job or an internship out there, pretty nice. So my school had an interest meeting for the Nesby chapter and everything. And the one thing that I didn't really like, not throwing shade, like
Mhm.
back in the past, back in the past, in Nesby just only had like one meeting and just like don't like just went dirt silent the whole semester.
Mhm.
And it was kind of hard for me to be involved in this because I knew about the conferences, I knew about this, that, the other, and everything, but it was just super hard for me to get involved, and nobody's like saying anything. and stuff. So that's kind of like how my introduction of A&M Nesby was. So I would say I was kind of active, but kind of not active my sophomore year with the Nesby chapter because again, we didn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But junior year, I got an e-boy position. I was the conference planning chair, but again, it was kind of the same thing. We just only had like one meeting or two meetings, and we just went dead silent.
Mm-hmm.
But some people did go to the conference, like my junior year. Some people did go to the conference and everything, and but I just unfortunately did not go because I just told myself like if if I want to be involved with something, if I'm involved with something, I'm like in it or I'm not in it. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like how my Nesby story happened. But
Mm-hmm.
let's we're gonna go back to that, like
Oh
how
yeah, yeah.
super involved with it. I would say I did a couple. I did like these last two organizations was Alabama Special Projects Laboratory (SPL) for short. It was more like an engineering design class. Well, not engineering design class, but an engineering design team and everything. We competed in like two competitions: the Formula SAE and also the NASA Human Exploration Rover Project. Now, I got a lot of my like CAD, like SolidWorks, like my actual engineering experience through that program. And honestly, like if it wasn't for them, I probably would not have my love for any CAD software like that. So, and just actually just solving problems like each and every day. Like we're we're going from the like straight design phase to the manufacturing phase to the like production phase and everything. I mean, design phase, manufacturing phase, and just like testing phase. I used to like love doing that. It was just like a super neat project. And we also competed in competitions. So it gave me like a lot of engineering, like startup engineering experience and everything. And also the last organization I was like, well, the last organization I was kind of, well, yeah, the last organization I was involved in was Man of American Nurturing and Ushering Progress Incorporated. It was like a more like a volunteer organization to like help like at-risk males, like high schools and everything, and middle schoolers. And we just like went to the middle schools, high schools, and just talked to kids like how we grew up, like what it takes to be successful, what it takes to be in college and everything. And honestly, it gave me like a lot of opportunity to like volunteer and just like show myself out there and just inspire the community and
Okay.
stuff. And I also cannot forget IEEE. I was a part of
Yeah, I was about to say that's a
IEEE.
big one.
I forgot IEEE too. But yeah. Yeah, so those are kind of like my involvements on campus. I would say with I would say like okay, how we met Nesby one. So it was kind of again, I kind of noticed that Nesby that our campus Nesby was like, I want to say it was not the best. I was just like the kid, like people were not giving out like Nesby should not be having a meeting for having a 1 week. I mean, for one day and just don't do anything like the whole semester.
Hmm.
Everything. So I said, okay, let me just decide to like kind of change that because I don't want the people to say like, hey, I'm in Nesby at my campus and just don't go to any events
Hmm.
and stuff. So I applied for another e-board position. I got selected as membership chair. And, membership chair to me is a really important position because you're bringing in members. So, kind of the way that I guess I use this position as an opportunity to like, see how I am with an actual big leadership position, and B, like challenge myself to like talk to like other students, like actually promote because I guess like with me, I wasn't really talkative person and stuff like that, but I was never really a guy that like promote something. You feel me? Like I
Hmm.
was not like a business guy. You feel me? Yeah, but so how I got into Nesby, I mean, well, how the membership chair role of Nesby, I guess I kind of started off like, okay, what's the goal that I want to achieve and everything. So I kind of laid out what goals I want to achieve and stuff like that. And yeah, I would say like I wanted to try to get A&M Nesby like fully impacted, fully integrated to the campus and everything. Like everybody knows, like, oh yeah, that's Nesby. I want to be a part of Nesby and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I literally every person I met, it was like I was literally just passionate about it. Every engineering student I met on my campus, I just talked about Nesby. I just said like, why is Nesby important? Nesby's really great, and plus the funny part about it, that our past dean, well, our dean, the engineering school's first dean was Arthur J. Bond, which was one of the founders of Nesby. So I was like, greased that fun fact. I said, hey, did you know this building, Arthur J. Bond building? He was like one of the founders of Nesby. You should definitely try to join Nesby. So literally, I literally sold Nesby to every engineering student of all time, even non-engineering students too, like business students, finance students, account students, biology students. I just talked about Nesby every single day. Literally, every class I was in, Nesby. Engineering class, Nesby. I was in the cab, Nesby. It was so I talked about Nesby so much. Literally, people would call me Mr. Nesby on campus because I talked about Nesby so much. It was crazy. Like, and I kind of realized, like, okay, I want to see like what other chapters are doing and everything. So, like going to those leadership conferences of how we met, came here like I told myself, okay, I need to put my school in the map. I need to say Alabama A&M Nesby is him, is
Mm.
there, is a Nesby. So you probably know me. I was talking to everybody. You
Yeah.
probably remember I was talking to everybody.
No, let me take a pause real quick. Let me tell you how I actually got to started talking to Dylan at this conference. So first off, he's already wearing his Alabama A&M, his polo and whatnot, and he saw myself and my two other members went to FAMU. He's like, "Oh, FAMU, man, y'all trash anywhere in football. We finna beat y'all this year." That's how the conversation started, and that was pretty
Honestly,
funny because then we just started like, "Oh yeah, what's up, bro? My name's Dylan. Oh, my name's Rahsaan. Da 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 da." And we just kind
yeah.
of went from there. So this HBCU shade that we throw to each other is all love. It is not real. This is just for discretion. It's not real. It's just like sibling rivalry.
It was actually nah, bro. It was crazy. But just every conference I went to, I just try to figure out, okay, what are chapters doing to like find the people engagement on campus, so like just to gain it. And I just kind of use what you guys did. Like I always ask you, like, okay, what do I need to do to like help people want to be like more involved with Nesby, or people who wants to try to understand what Nesby is, and you inspired that. Like FAMU, University of Alabama, uh,
Georgia Tech. I got a
Georgia
whole
Tech,
list. UCF,
UCF,
UF.
like so many Nesbys like kind of inspired me. I just kind of like ask people like, what do you do? What do you do? What made your Nesby so successful? And I kind of like use what you guys gave to me. I mean, use what you guys did and just kind of like put it like a remix to it. You feel me?
Yeah,
So, but right now, honestly, I would say I kind of left my mark on campus a little bit, and I feel like our Nesby is like getting better, getting more involved each and every year. So honestly, just me like working my butt off of like what Nesby is, just like talking about Nesby every day. It just like shows that okay, like this guy he loves Nesby. I need, I need whoever's next, whoever's in the e board, just talking about Nesby all the time. You feel me?
mm,
Just basically just being more people engagement, because all I care about is people just getting the opportunity to succeed. That's all
yeah,
I care about. The one thing I saw on my campus, a lot of people said, like they say, oh, A&M doesn't give you a lot of opportunities. I said, they do. They
hmm
do. Like colleges give you a lot of opportunities to succeed, especially my college. They give people a lot of opportunities to succeed. But at the same time, if you're not willing to do it, success is just not gonna come to you. You gotta like work for it. You feel me?
yeah, yeah. I mean, regardless, you got to work for success. But you know what I'm saying? Like with an organization like NSBE, we're the probably the largest student-led organization
Yes.
in the United States, and we're even international too. And I think it's very powerful that we expose engineering students or even expose the non-engineering students too, for them to pass it on to like their freshman engineering friend who may not
Exactly.
know about what's going on campus. And even in the past few years, even our chapter, we've been expanding to computer science and
Mhm.
IT because those are the people the companies looking for too. They weren't
Exactly.
always looking for the electrical, computer, mechanical, chemical, and all that, but they were also looking for computer science and IT people. So I think that's really good that you left your mark, and also, you know what I'm saying, like everybody gives me their motivation too. The way I motivate people, the way they motivate me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I fed off the energy of other chapters too, because I loved talking to Malachi from University of Alabama.
Yeah, it's really big in
I
spell.
was always talking to people on the regional board. I was always talking to national chairperson last year, Avery. Like I was always talking to people and like trying to build more and more, and even like past members of our chapter who have
Exactly.
paved the way for me, and I want to pave the way for the people coming after, like my successor Julius. He's doing amazing right now with the chapter,
Yeah.
and where the chapter is now wouldn't have been there without like us doing like more of the groundwork. Now he's setting the groundwork for the next person after him, so that's always about
Exactly. Yeah, it's just
learning and
really
growing.
just really who inspires you next, man. I mean, I know I can do so much and stuff like that, but some people can just be inspired by that. That's all I care about. And I feel like honestly, I'm just saying here, I feel like in the next like 2 years, Alabama A&M Nesby chapter is going to be the best chapter in Alabama. I'm gonna say it first. I'm gonna say it first. I'm gonna say it first. Like that's
No,
a
go
bold
ahead,
claim to say,
go
but
ahead, stand on business,
I'm gonna
stand on
stand on business.
business.
Like I'm pretty confident if we hit the progress right now, next 2 years we're gonna be the best Nesby chapter in Alabama. In Alabama,
Go
not
ahead.
region. I would just say Alabama. I'm
It
gonna go for
is.
Alabama.
Yeah, no discretion. We're not saying that other Nesby chapters are bad. We're just saying like they want to be on the same level that they're at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Their version
you
of
know,
success. So, but yeah, I like that. I like that.
it's that
Um,
confidence, you know.
yeah, it's that confidence. But yeah, I love talking about leadership, but we can talk about some stuff that's beyond leadership and we talk about your postgraduate life because now you're out of undergrad. Because we can sit here and reminisce about undergrad all day, but I'd rather do that after we make a meal. You feel me? Like after we make a meal, chill on the yacht in the Atlantic Ocean or the
Yeah, so the
Caribbean.
yachts, the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, go live my life in Fiji,
Fiji.
stuff like that. Drive me my car.
But
Life
yeah,
sure is great, man.
but like sure is great, man.
Life sure is great. I swear that too.
Anyway,
Da-da, da-da, da-da-da-da-da.
we'll talk
Life
about
sure
that
is
later,
great.
bruh. But we're gonna start. I'm trying to figure out what I want to start with your experience at Boeing or the postgraduate life. I think I'm gonna start with postgraduate life first, like outside of work and whatnot. So how's your transition been for you so far? Because both of us are still within our first year of our professional careers. But like, how's the transition been not only into your job, but you're also in a location that's relatively far away from Alabama. So how have you been feeling and how have you been adjusting?
I'm not gonna hold you, man. One thing I miss about Alabama is number one the weather, man. Like when people say Seattle is like dark and cloudy, that's a very true statement because like I wake up, go to work, dark. Get out of work, dark. I'm like, okay, this might not work. I mean, well, I don't like this already. But
Yeah.
really, honestly, coming from it, moving all the way across the country was to me was like kind of the best decision I made in my life. Oh, another a good decision I made in my life because
Hmm.
I'm far away. It gives me a chance to like be an actual adult. Like if I move to like somewhere in the South, like Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, or even say in Alabama, I can always call my parents like, "Hey, mom, hey, dad, can you pick me up and stuff like that? Hey, I'm sick. Like, can you pick me up and stuff? Like, can you
Yeah.
help me out? Like, they can like pretty much just drive up there or take a flight up there, but I can't really do that in Seattle and stuff like that. They can't really drive up to Seattle. They can't really I mean, going all the way from Alabama to Seattle, that's a trip. So really it gives me the opportunity to like just grow and just be an adult, like paying bills, being on top of your finances and stuff. Like my dad, I would definitely say my dad, he told me to budget. And I'm not gonna hold you. Like I've been doing the budget thing and I'm glad I kind of listened to him because now I have like I don't really have to like struggle like with paying bills and everything. Like I don't want to like because if I didn't budget, like I probably would be struggling to pay bills right now and stuff.
Hmm.
Like I'm not saying I'm a spender, but like I like nice things. I would just let you know.
Yeah, of course, of
Like nice
course.
things. But really the transition is not that bad like city wise because I kind of had an internship like last year in Seattle. So it was like not that bad. But being a full grown adult, there's a couple stuff I don't like paying bills. Hate paying bills, but hey, you gotta do it to live.
Gotta do what you gotta
And
do.
kind of making friends a little bit. It's just being from like a coming from a like city where everybody says hi to each other and everything, and then coming to a city that like people barely talk to each other and stuff like that. It's kind of hard making friends, but again, I had Nesby's. I'm going to the Seattle Nesby professional chapters and just met a couple friends there. Also, friends at work. I kind of made a lot of friends there too. So yeah, I would say like if I could rank the transition from a scale of 1 to 10, I would say like a solid 7.
Hmm.
Solid 7. It has its ups and downs, but I mean, there's a lot of times like, hey, I miss my family and everything. I miss my mom, miss my dad and stuff. But like I can always come back. Like I took a trip. I took a trip for
Yeah,
Christmas
like
break to
yeah,
see
I'm
my
about to say
family and
last month.
everything. Yeah, like last month, low key, took a trip, saw my family, and it was really nice. But I would definitely say like once you like live on your own for a few months and stuff like that, you can kind of see like okay, like I like my own space and everything. It's kind of crazy because my mom, she said, "Hey, Dylan, take the trash out." I said, "What?" I said, "You gotta take the trash out." My dad, he hit me up. He said, "Hey, man, you gotta wash these dishes." I said, "What? I gotta wash the dishes?" I just said, "Okay." I just did it, but just having your own space and just having the time to do whatever you want, I kind of like the independence. But family wise, I do miss it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one part. So I moved around a few times in high school, so I know how that isolation is from like a good amount of your family. I was with my dad and my stepmom, but
Mhm.
it's hard moving around. I do encourage people to move around at their own discretion because I don't want them to just jump in and be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I'm gonna move to LA. I'm gonna move to Portland. I'm gonna move to Seattle. I'm gonna move
Yeah.
to Texas or whatever." I feel they should go in with the plan, especially if they're working out there, and
Yeah.
then make sure you have some sort of community or a network you can find out there. Like when we talk about
Exactly.
Nesby, I know I was gonna find a Nesby chapter, and I knew someone would be able to help me find a Nesby chapter wherever I go.
100%.
Because after the last few years of being in Nesby in undergrad, I got connects in like almost every region, pretty much, probably every region of Nesby.
Hey,
So,
weird flex. Weird flex. Okay, my
no,
bad.
I don't even mean to like
Flexing like
flex
that.
it.
I'm sorry you flexing like that. My
But
bad.
like, but
I'm
like,
messing with
I
you. I'm messing
I
with
say
you.
I say all that to say is like I can find people to help me out, but I can also connect people to
Yeah,
other people who can probably help them out. So you feel
yeah,
me? So I think that's always a good thing to do, especially like at our growing age. We're still in our early 20s, fresh out of college. I say go travel,
yeah,
even if it's just for like a weekend in a new city. You know what I'm saying? And then
yeah.
see if you like it. A few years later, you might come back to that same city for a job. So
Exactly. Like if I look back and told if I went back in time and told my freshman year self like, hey, you gonna be moving to Seattle, I'll probably look at you like, what? Like you never know what opportunities will come for like you to like just move out the state. You feel me?
yeah.
Especially like me being from Alabama. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Alabama is not to me like I kind of knew when I was like when I said okay, I'm going to college. I said my main goal is like kind of trying to move out of Alabama
Mm,
because no offense to Alabama, I love where I'm from. I love my city, Birmingham, Alabama, and everything, but I feel like if I don't take the opportunity to explore more, I don't want to be just stuck in a bubble, you know?
Yeah.
You got to get out your comfort zone. So that's like that's kind of another reason why I took the job out in Seattle and everything, because I wanted just to take the opportunity to get out of my comfort zone and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Nice. And then back to your transition. So one thing that I've learned this past, I hit 8 months next week, the past 7, 8 months,
Yeah.
at the time of this recording, 7, 8 months of being in, living in Virginia, and being outside of college and working full time, I had to find new hobbies. Like, I had to find things that make me happy or feel like I'm fulfilling something in life outside just going to work, going to the gym, and going home. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like, did you find any hobbies or new interests since graduating, or even revisit old hobbies?
I would say, really, honestly, like Seattle. So like as you know, like I think you lived in Seattle for a
Yeah, I
couple of
used to I
years.
used to live in Bellevue, right across
Yeah,
the bay.
Bellevue. So you can kind of tell like how the people are a little bit. They're not really like talkative and everything. So a couple of hobbies I did. I kind of found I played soccer majority of my life and everything. Like I would definitely say like I love soccer. I love soccer and everything. I just kind of just like went online and stuff like that and just like find like okay pickup games in Seattle, Washington. And literally I go to Seattle, just play pickup all the time, just play pickup soccer. And that's honestly, that's made me kind of made me just like just go out there, just build more hobbies and everything and stuff like that. Well, try to just get myself out there. And because I never really, I played soccer a lot in college and stuff like that. But like when I got to Seattle, I started playing like every weekend.
Mm.
And that like kind of like revisited my love for soccer. I also skateboard too. I like skateboarding, so I go to the skate parks like in Seattle and stuff like that. So I do have like a new hobby. I would say since it's like it doesn't rain all the time. I mean, it rains all the time. It's also cold. I'm from the south, so I don't like the cold sometimes. I try to. I kind of just like it's just try to like expand my engineering knowledge, right?
Hmm.
Like I've been like really getting into like PCB designs, printed circuit boards designs, and I try to do some stuff on KeyCAD, like kind of just like make up my own design the circuit based design, and just design like the PCB board. So
Hmm.
really just like just expanding your knowledge because again, knowledge is power and stuff like that. And I'm always
Got you.
continuously learning as an engineer.
Got you.
So.
Yeah, that's what's up. I started
Oh,
getting
I
the
also
audio.
I got into working out though too.
You gonna
Because I
work it
didn't
out?
work out. It's kind of weird because my dad always tell me like, "Hey man, hit the gym." And I just told myself like, okay, I was like super raw one day, and I just started hitting the gym consistently.
That's what's up. Yeah, I kind of fell off a little bit. It's just stuff started picking up at work, and I was still trying to figure out how to balance it. Oh, that's what I was going
Tell
to talk
me.
about. With moving new places, that's one thing that I definitely learned is how to adapt in new environments. Not just a geographical location, but like in different environments with you're not around familiar faces. You move city to city, you're not gonna know many faces. So I feel like that's something. But that can also tie into building new hobbies or interests and whatnot, or even
Mhm.
revisiting interests. Like you said, soccer. You used to love playing soccer. Now you're playing it almost every weekend.
I play it every weekend. Like I literally go to Seattle because I said we finna play soccer. I just play it. If it's not raining, if it's not too cold, I'm playing soccer.
That's what's up. Yeah, I started listening to more audiobooks. I don't know what it is. I love listening to music, but I had to start listening to audiobooks or something. I felt like I was too stagnant. So I had to, yeah, and I commute to work, like to and from
Yeah,
work is 35, 40 minutes. So like that's like a smooth chapter right there, depending on what kind of book you're listening to.
yeah,
So
that's true.
that's always good. And I was gonna say maintaining a healthy lifestyle ties in that too. You kind of already touched on it, how you're maintaining everything and balancing everything. But did it take you a little bit to find a set routine for like every day when you wake up, you go to work, and then like after work? Because I know those first 2 days or that first week of work is like orientation, onboarding stuff. So you might
Yeah.
feel tired afterwards, but you still gotta do everything else. But did you find a routine that you practice every day?
I'm actually starting to build it. Well, I would okay, let me just like go back. So literally my first 3 weeks at Boeing, we were just like they just like do filled you with a bunch of training and stuff. So I really didn't really get a routine. All I did was just wake up, go to work, go home, and do some more work. That's literally what that was like my routine for those first 3 weeks
Hmm.
until I was telling my coworkers. They just told me like they looked at me and I said like, yeah, I do some training at home. It's like they look at me like, bro, you doing training? You doing working at home? They just look at me so sideways. So I guess I kind of just like I guess I kind of like force myself to build a routine every morning.
Yeah,
So like I wake up, I do like a devotion and everything because my grandma, I'm trying to get like I guess I'm trying to get back to like Christianity. I mean, go back to the Lord and everything. Want to have a build a stronger relationship with God. So I
yeah.
wake up, do a devotion, and everything. Eat breakfast, which I'm on a diet right now, so I've been eating like a hard boiled egg for the past couple weeks and everything, and also just relax, kind of just review some notes and everything before I go to work, and then just go to work and everything. And after work, I come back, hit the gym, watch some TV, cook some food, and then go to bed. And I just been doing that routine like
Every
crazy.
day.
It's just it's kind of weird in college, like coming from that transition from like college to undergrad to post grad. You don't really have a routine in college and stuff like that. Nobody is like, it's no like every day is just a different day in college. Like it
Yeah.
might be a party, it might be a club event, stuff like that, or like the
Something
fraternities,
might have something might have happened in the dorms. Fire alarm went off.
fire alarm went off,
All that.
fraternities and sororities, like they have
Yeah.
stroll off and stuff. I say, hey,
There's so
so
much going on.
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to set that routine and everything. So when I got when I got into post grad, I had no friends. I was really just doing nothing when I go home. So I just said, okay, let me just set. This is a good time for me to set that routine and everything.
That's what's
If
up.
you have a consistent routine, it's just like, well, if you do that if you do that routine like every day, it's just like comes natural to you. Like literally, I do the same thing every day. Comes natural to me. It's crazy, but yeah.
That's what's up. One thing I struggle with is staying disciplined to that routine. Have you come across any roadblocks where it's like something happened, just throws your whole day off and like your whole routine just goes out the window?
Man, so I would definitely say something I struggle with, and I still struggle with this day. I try to go to work at least 7:30. Like if I don't make it at work at 7:30, whole day. I want to say my whole day's ruined, but I just feel like dang, like I could have like it kind of like bothers me a little bit.
Mm,
Definitely, I try to wake up at like 5:45, so therefore I can just have like a whole day of like morning devotion, like just kind of relax a little bit, and then I walk to work, so I can just walk to work and everything.
yeah,
But there are times like where I just ignore my alarm, like the
too
iPhone blows
comfortable.
you up and everything. I said
Yeah,
I don't want to do it. I said no, I don't want to sleep. I'm gonna sleep some more, I guess, and then I wake up at like 8:30, and now I'll go to work at 9. I make it to work at 9 and everything, and I got to stay to work at 5, and it's like that just ruins your whole routine after work and everything. But it's
yeah.
yeah, there was a lot of roadblocks. I would definitely say that like the major one was like just waking up early
Hmm.
and stuff.
Yeah. I think I forgot where the quote came from. They said the hardest part is always getting started. Not really like the staying consistent, but it's always getting started. Like that first step. Like let's say you're running a marathon. You're nervous, right? A marathon is about what, 26.2 miles? Bruh, you don't see the end of the finish line until you get towards the end of the finish line, literally.
Swear,
Like
man.
those first few steps are like nervous, getting all the nerves out, then getting your groove. So Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's cool though. Did you have anything else you want to touch on with that?
Nah, just really well. It's kind of funny because this is gonna be always referred back to my dad and everything. Because again, my pops is like my mom and my dad, and also my stepmom were like kind of like the biggest inspirations growing up and everything.
Hmm.
My dad, he always wakes up early, like every day. I know he kind of old and everything. He like my dad's like he.
Why you say
I mean,
that?
no, hey, shout out to my pops, man. Shout out to my pops. He old now, but one thing I will always say about my dad, bro, no matter what, he will wake up early. Like it is crazy how like every day he wakes up early. He always tell me and my brother always wakes up early. Like why sleep in and you have a whole day ahead of you? And I like at first, like when I was like a little like in high school, going to college, I was like, I didn't really get it. But now I understand it now because if you wake up early, if you like you got some dishes you can clean, you got some clothes you need to fold, you got the way, you got the whole day ahead of you.
Hmm.
Instead of just like waking up at like 1 p.m., you kind
Most
of
of the day's already gone.
yeah, and your day's whole day was already gone and everything. You gotta wash the clothes. You gotta fold the clothes, wash the dishes. And that might take like to nighttime. I mean, well, depends on how big of the clothes load it is. But and then like it's just a whole day there and you're just gonna do it on repeat. So it's just nothing, you're not really getting a lot of stuff out of your day. You know?
Yeah,
So that's like kind of like what I've been learning because even at on the weekends, like when I try to sleep in, I still wake up at
yeah.
8
You
a.m.
you still gotta get up, do your routine.
I still gotta wake up at 8 a.m. and just like just build that consistency because days are short. You like how fast days like because it feels like your days have just been going long and long and long. Promise you on the weekends when you be working, short. It feel like
Yeah.
2 hours. I'll be like, hey, it's Sunday already? But nah, it's just I get what my dad like all the stuff that my dad was like preaching to me when I was a little kid.
They came back.
It came back and I just be like, oh,
That's what he meant.
by that. That's what he meant by that.
It's all right. It's all that's what I like about like the development of, humans and our brains and whatnot. We develop stuff at different times. So it's never too late to mark those changes to your routine and whatnot. I'm glad you were able to pick up on those little habits that your dad was telling you about when you were
Tell me
younger.
about it, man. Like one thing, just a little. I'm gonna talk about my dad a little bit more and everything, but he always gave me two quotes: "Cleanliness is next to godliness," and "Your word is your bond."
Hmm.
I live by those quotes. Like ever since I've been living my life, like post grad, I started like living by those quotes and everything. Like your word is your bond. Like, like say for example, I'm gonna make it on time. That's your bond right there. You just broke if you don't if you're not a man of your word, you just broke that bond with that
Yeah.
person and everything. And also cleanness and that's the godliness. I'm not gonna lie to you. Little story, little side note, a little bit, little story time. Every time I pops, my dad, my college was like an hour 30 minutes away from my parents' house and everything.
Hmm.
My dad used to make surprise visits. Surprise visit. He'd be like, surprise. He said, I'm on campus. I said, dang, dang. Because I just know he gonna say something about my room because I was not the cleanest person. Bro, dishes was not clean, bed was barely made up, clothes was not folded. Man, he chewed me out. He just said, oh, bet. He chewed me out and everything. He told the whole world. And he always said, like, cleanness is next to godliness. Like, I just said, ah. So literally, every time like I feel like my apartment's like messed up and everything, I just remember that quote and just remember like, okay, dad can like visit Seattle anytime. I need to make sure every time I need to make sure that my room is clean. And plus, like when you clean your room, you feel good about yourself and stuff like that. You have like a messy room, dishes are not cleaned up, clothes are not folded, trash is not out. It just like kind of builds like a little bit like, oh, just negative energy, like just I don't like this. But like when stuff is clean, organized, you feel good about yourself. You feel me?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Speaking of which, after this, I gotta straighten up my room, but that's besides the point.
That's the godliness, man.
Is I gotta straighten up my room after this. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it here with a few more questions.
I
So we're
got
gonna
you.
transition into the professional aspect of working. Talk about the personal aspect, but the professional aspect. But first, what were your internships that built up to your full time role at Boeing?
Okay. So I had a total of two internships, and I had a couple of project experience like that I did in college and stuff like that. But we can just talk about these internships. I worked for a company called OSI Group in controls automation. So it was like kind of food manufacturing a little bit. So I was working a lot with manufacturing plants. So since I was had an electrical engineering background, they put me as a controls automation intern. So I worked a lot with like PLC ladder logic and just like PLCs in general and stuff. And I really liked the opportunity that was given to me because I definitely can understand like how like these little tiny like machines that I can program and stuff like that can have an influence with the manufacturing business.
Hmm.
Really nice. And my second internship was actually the Boeing internship. So I worked as the 737X electrical systems engineer. So I was like into three groups: wire design, wire installation, and also ECAT, which stands for Electrical Corrective Action Team. And honestly, I guess I was in a during my Boeing internship, I was kind of in a position where I was like kind of questioning whether I wanted to not necessarily, yeah, I was kind of questioning the position like, okay, like what does a engineer really do? Because during my last internship with as a controls automation, I was just really just not doing anything. It was just me just like looking at drawings all day. I didn't was not really being creative and stuff like that. I was not really programming anything. So I was just looking at drawings all day, reporting to my mentor, and calling it a day. And I'm gonna let you know, like, that was a very miserable time for me. Like
Hmm.
I did not really like, I was like, okay, if this is the industry that is gonna be, I'm not gonna be looking at a great future, right?
Hmm.
So when I got to Boeing, I worked with wire design. So the way that Boeing works, there's no just one electrical engineer, right? There's different like subsystems because Boeing is like a super big group and everything. And when I was at Boeing, I did like a lot of like design projects. Like I was like, cause I was doing a lot of like CATIA drawings and everything, two-dimensional drawings. And also when I was in ECAT, I was able to solve the problems that like when a problem comes up in the manufacturing line or like where the maintenance workers are having like a problem, a quality problem or ergonomic issue, I go out there and solve it. Just try my best to solve it because I would definitely say it gave me the opportunity to like kind of like just speak to people and stuff. Like when I speak to people, I used to just ramble a lot, just ramble, and I
Hmm.
was just kind of like just scared to speak to people. But I would definitely say I learned a lot during that internship, and just learning just how like an airplane system works and everything when it comes to electrical stuff, and just solving problems every day. Like literally on when I was in the ECAT team, I was just solving problems every day, putting out fires every day. And there was this like mentor. She was this lady named Kim. I was just like, she was like brutally honest with me. So every day it was just like kind of me just having to like to lock in because she knew I could like do better, like be better, you know?
Yeah.
So like after that, I got a full time offer to Boeing, so I ended up taking it. Now I work in Seattle. I work as a electrical design engineer. My team is like wire harness installation, which wire installation engineering, and I'm doing a lot of like designing work and everything. And also, I'm working on a couple projects. So really, I would say like with school, I would like going like how did school prepare me a little bit? School kind of prepared me like when it comes to like the project management standpoint. I remember
Mhm.
like you have a bunch of labs, you gotta like do the lab reports and everything, do the labs and everything. I mean, well, do the lab reports and the labs. I kind of use that like just as like separate my work. Okay, I need to complete this design by 2 p.m. I need to report on this project at 3 p.m. It was just like just scheduling things. It kind of like came easy to me and everything.
Mhm.
So really, I would say if I would definitely like the number one thing that I got from school that transitioned to workforce was the project management.
That's what's up. And now the work life culture at Boeing, how was that? Like, do you have socials with your teams or with the like the new hires?
Yeah, my team, I would definitely say like the team that I'm on, they go out for lunch every day.
Mm,
Like literally, it's kind of funny because my team, everybody's like super nice. They're always willing to help. Like even though like I ask a lot of I'm not gonna lie. I still do. I ask a lot of stupid questions, but nobody like judges you and everything. They just say
mm,
like, hey, like they all know that you're new. You're a new engineer. You just got out of college. You're trying to learn that the system that Boeing's doing and everything. You're trying to understand what we're designing and everything. It's okay to ask dumb questions because everybody kind of knew they were in that same position when they first started at Boeing.
mm,
And my team, they have like a lot of people that has like a lot of experience, like with just not just the Boeing companies, but with different companies too. So they just have like gives me advice of okay, this is how engineers have to like solve this problem. Like whether it comes to the Boeing company, whether it comes to any other company that you go at and everything. So honestly, the culture at Boeing is like really, really great. Well, when it comes to my team, because literally everybody's open to help you. Like no question's a stupid question. My managers, they're always willing to talk. They always like talk to the employees and everything. It's just the people engagement is always there.
mm.
Like nobody feels. I mean, nobody feels left out of the group. Like there was a time there's like I have a lead and everything. My lead, he jokes around with me every day. He always asks me about like you seen the next NFL game, you see the next like basketball game. It's just not like we come into work, we don't say nothing to each other, we just work. Like it's not like that at all. I honestly thought it was at first. I was low key kind of scared, like when I started like actually doing these internships, but overall, like my experience at Boeing, like when it came socially, was like really, really great.
That's what's up. And another part that I've seen a lot of course, like in Nesby and like our schools, they host like career panels and they talk about the career, work-life balance, and all that, like what to do outside of work and inside of work. But one thing people don't talk about, especially within your first year, is that burnout. Because we're so used to like I'll break it down like this, right? So internships, right? We're there from May to August. That's three
Yeah,
months out of the summer. Then we go back to school from September or August to December.
well, you turn up.
Winter break. We have winter break for like 2 3 weeks. Go back to school. We have spring break in the middle of the semester, and then the cycle continues. We have those little breaks. Now we take breaks when needed, or if there's a slowdown, or we have holidays. But that was kind of a weird tangent. But with burnout, I'm trying to bring it back full circle. Trying to be back to burnout. Have you experienced that within the first few months at Boeing? And did you ever have to take, if you feel comfortable talking about, did you ever take a few mental health days because of the burnout?
I would definitely say I haven't taken a mental health day, but I definitely was kind of burnt out a couple times.
Mm,
It's just like coming from college again, like coming from college and just going to your workforce, it feels like, okay, internship. I was so used to like internships, like, oh, 3 months, next week, after 3 months ends, I'm turning up. Nah,
yeah.
bro. You gotta wake up, do it all over again. It's just like I would definitely say when I hit that 3 butt mark at Boeing, when that fourth butt hit, I'm not gonna hold you. I was just like, wow, this is my life now. This is
Mm,
my life now. I just kind of felt like I'm not gonna lie, that was like times I got out of the bed like, wow, this is my life. Like I
mm,
really don't feel like going to work right now.
yeah.
And it's just like, and you know, in class, like if you don't feel like going to class, you can
You can just
skip
skip
class.
it
You
or
can just
like
skip it,
look at
take
the
a L.
notes.
Yeah, when it comes to work, you're not getting paid.
Hmm.
So it's just like there. I would definitely say there were days that I just say like, dang, like do I really want to go to work? This is my really my life right now.
Mm,
But sometimes like how I kind of overcame it and stuff. I just kind of just remembered like I'm out here for a reason, you know.
yeah.
Like if I skip work, if I like end up skipping like a whole week at work, which again, I'm pretty sure my manager will hit me up. It's like, hey, what's going on? And like, I'm pretty much the work that I miss all week is gonna come back the next week. So like,
Hmm.
to me, I just kind of view it the way I face my burnout. I just like kind of just like motivate myself a little bit. Like, okay, I want to like get all this stuff done so I don't have to worry about it during the weekend.
Yeah.
And
Makes
I feel like
sense.
that's like just the best way to do it. And also like, I mean, yeah, there's a couple days that I feel like, okay, I don't really want to come to work, but it's just at the end of the day, I live right by my job. So like, if I walk outside and I see the big Boeing sign right there, I'm like, dang, okay, I gotta get to work now.
Got you.
So no, I would definitely say when it comes to burnout, like the what just with anyone, just like I would just definitely say like just find the motivation again. Like what
Mm,
motivates you to like get out here and everything. Like your family, like what motivates you to wake up in the morning. Like with me, the reason why I like my job, I like solving problems. Like I'm a problem solver. Like if something is bothering somebody, I'm gonna try to solve it. And that's why I like engineering. Like you're just solving problems every day.
mm,
So yeah.
got you. And then closing out, we're getting closer to closeout mark, but what's some professional development advice you would give to that young engineering student who's struggling to find an internship, their freshman, sophomore year, or even that young aspiring engineering student coming out of high school? Like, what's your advice to them?
I would say don't give up, man. Like again, engineering is like when it comes to a college perspective, like man, engineering is a hard major. I'm not gonna lie, especially electrical engineering. Like
Hmm.
just engineering in general is just a hard major. Like you got classes, labs, and besides that, if you're trying to get an intern, especially now, if you're trying to get an internship, you got to show like you've been doing like projects. You got to do some extra stuff. Like you can't say anymore that hey, I got a 2 year, I'm in college right now. Can you guys give me an internship? They're gonna ask you like, what have you done in campus? What projects have you done? What technical skills do you know?
Hmm.
It's just like there's a lot of stuff that you need to do in order to land that quote unquote perfect internship and everything.
Got you.
So I would just definitely say just don't give up. Like if you feel like you just don't want to do it no more, I would just say like just understand like just come back to the motivation like why do you want to do engineering and be like one thing and this is another I go through a lot of tangents and everything. One
Mm,
thing I don't really like it's just a personal thing for me when people say I'm in the engineering because of the money. I
yeah.
feel like if you don't really have like a true passion for engineering, if you don't feel like you should if you like engineering just because like you like problem solving each and every day, or like designing something, or just creating something new, then I don't think you should. I don't think that's the right field career path for you, because so many people that I know from my college that didn't really have a passion for engineering and stuff like that. I would say they were like kind of the people that like just gave up.
Yeah.
So, but again, like that motivation, just never give up on like what you do. Like just have that motivation. Know what you want out of engineering, really.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to like a freshman going into college. For a person that hasn't like gotten an internship, man, I know so many people that graduated from my college that had no internship experience and got a job opportunity.
Mm.
It's really like one I would say the biggest mistake I've learned in my college career was like not networking enough. It's not like what you know, because I thought you just gotta know like all the technical skills and everything. You can just get through the past the technical interview, you're good. No, you gotta like know people, like
Mm.
network. Like, why you think everybody like? I never understood like in the past. I never understood why my school had networking events. Now I understood now, so you can get that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's really like not what you. It's not like who you. I mean, it's not what you know. It's who you know. That's really what it boils down to. But no, at the end of the day, just don't give up. Just don't give up, and just like know what you're getting into.
Yeah. I would also add.
Again, engineering is not an easy. It's not an easy major.
Yeah. I also add get involved in either an engineering organization or
Oh yeah,
interest organization. Like, FAMU had a roller skating club. Like stuff like that. You know, the little things that bring us joy. Stay involved because it may bring that balance and help you in that long run, building those hobbies and interests. So you have something to build off when you're in the real world. I'll say it like that. So
yeah.
yeah, definitely stay involved. It helped me a lot personally. Definitely vouch for Nesby. Love the organization so
Oh
much.
yeah, I definitely vouch for
So
you.
I
I'll
can write
definitely
a
say that's great.
thesis. I can write a thesis about Nesby if I wanted to. So I'm
I'm
so
pretty
for
sure I
real.
won't write a thesis about it, but I'll write an essay about it.
All
Oh, my
right.
thesis is
An
crazy.
extended, my fault, an extended essay. I'll leave it at that. But anyway,
uh,
Dylan, closing out, do you have any like closing remarks or words of encouragement you want to share to the person watching this?
man, honestly, well, I just want to say, can I do shout outs?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to shout out to my mom, my dad, and my stepmother for motivating me and motivating me to the man I am today, especially my father
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Also, shout out to Alabama A&M Nesby, you again, and also Alabama A&M to give me also for giving me the opportunity to like move out here, like start here, go anywhere, type of thing. But I guess like the closing remarks I would give to like people, whatever motivate, like do something that you're passionate about. There's a lot of, especially like in this world, a lot of people do something because their parents told them to do it, or somebody else told them to do it because they feel like, oh, you might be just good at this. No, just do something. If you really like something, do it. Like, don't care. Like, I don't care what people, whatever, say. Like, oh, you're gonna end up being broke. You're gonna end up being pro. At the end of the day, you gonna like what you're doing. You going whatever wakes you up in the morning, do that. Because there's a lot of people. I know there's a lot of people in this world that just like wakes up and don't like what they're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So I always say like even if I have kids, I would just say like do something that you're passionate about, because you're like if you do something that you're passionate about, I would feel like you can do it. You can do anything. Just
Yeah.
taking that risk, you know.
Oh yeah, the leap of faith from like
Leap of
Spider-Man,
faith.
like from
The Spider Man saying, "Oh,
yeah,
it's
from
just
the
leap of
Spider-Man
faith.
movie.
No, it's just leap of faith." But no, again, man, Rahsaan, Corbin, go Birds. By the way, I forgot.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, at the time of this recording, go Birds. You know what I'm
Go
saying?
Birds. Well, I don't know. I think Philly gonna lose. I'm gonna mark my word on that.
How you gonna say go Birds and then say hope they lose?
I hope they lose because
That's great. That's hypocritical.
I know that's hypocritical. Thank you.
The-
Uh, but no, at the end of the day, but Rahsaan, thank you, man. I mean, end of the day, thank you for having me on this podcast. And hopefully I inspire some people, especially some people at Alabama A&M University. Also, some people from Alabama. Shout out Alabama.
Mhm.
But yeah, man. Again, I guess that's about it.
Got you. Well, like I said, Dylan, I appreciate you being on and sharing your perspective of postgraduate life and life at Boeing. So thank you for being on. That's all I can say.
Nah, thank you, man. I feel like Michael Jackson now.
Yeah, you say Michael Jackson right there. He right there too. And he
I,
right there.
I,
Anyway.
I want to rock with you.
anyway. Anyway, that's the outro music for this episode, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, if you if you enjoyed today's
Outro music.
podcast, outro
Outro music. Oh man, we can make it. All
Nah,
right,
nah, but yeah, let's close this thing out, bruh. So
you.
if you if you enjoyed today's video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share with a friend who may find motivation from this.
Yeah.
Until then, next time we'll see you on the next episode. Hope you stay inspired. Hope you stay safe out there and whatnot. You know, stay blessed up and all that. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, peace out, y'all. I keep forgetting how to close these things out, but peace out, y'all.
Deuces.
See y'all next time, man.